Okay, so over here, 11.1, it starts with reviewing circumference, and you've seen circumference before, which is nice, so it won't feel like completely new. So circumference, just kind of make a note for yourself. Circumference is like the distance around a circle. So we're going to be finding the distance around the circle. And the equation is circumference equals pi times diameter. We're going to solve these questions in two ways. We're going to solve them in terms of pi and then as a decimal. Why is it blurry? Okay, I'm going to focus it. Okay, so the first one, it says find the indicated measure, circumference of a circle with a radius of 6 inches. So for circumference of a circle, pi times diameter. It says radius is 6 inches, but we need diameter for the equation. So diameter would be 12 inches, just times 2 is the diameter. And then we can plug that into the equation. Circumference is pi times the diameter. And if we're solving this in terms of pi, it would just be 12 pi inches. So that would be the answer in terms of pi. If we're solving it for a decimal, we just do 12 times 3.14 or 12 times the pi button, whatever you prefer. Normally it tells you in the problem which one it wants, but it's up to you. 37.68. So C equals 37.68 inches. And depending on how they want the answer, that's how you do. Okay, the next one right here, number 2, circumference of a circle with diameter 5 inches. So this is the same type of problem. Circumference is pi times diameter. Pi, the diameter is 5. So the answer in terms of pi would just be 5 pi inches. Or as a decimal, just 5 times 3.14. And that comes out to 15.7. Okay, then for 3 and 4, they take the skill level up a notch. So for this one, it wants to know the diameter of the circle with a circumference of 63 feet. So we're still using the same equation, circumference is pi times diameter, but this time they gave us the circumference is 63, and we have to solve it backwards to find diameter. Oh, sorry, I didn't realize it wasn't in the frame. Let me know. Okay, so we have 63 equals pi times diameter. So to get diameter by itself, we just divide by pi on both sides. So 63 divided by 3.14 is 20.06 feet. And that would be the diameter. Okay, number 4, same type of problem. It wants to know the radius of the circle with a circumference of 28 pi. Circumference is pi times diameter. So circumference is 28 pi equals pi times diameter. We're going to solve for d first. So to get diameter by itself, divide both sides by pi. This cancels, and diameter equals 28. However, the question here is asking for radius, so just divide that by 2, and the radius is 14. And yeah. Wow. Everyone's out there.
I did.
God, for 20 minutes.
I would do it. I didn't go to the floor. Just like
To ask for a passenger to go that far. Is there somebody that can verify where you've been? You said you went to the front office.
oh well, I just talked to her. She said back.
Okay. Number 5, it's talking about arc length. So for 5, 6, 7, and 8, we're transitioning skills from circumference to arc length. So there is an equation for this, and here's what it is. It's like part over whole equals part over whole. We're setting up a proportion. Here it wants arc length of AB, so we're finding the arc length of this part right here, and that is 45 degrees. So we put 45 degrees over all the way around the circle would be 360 degrees. And then we put that equal to arc length over the circumference all the way around the circle. And then this is the equation we're going to stick to for all the problems. So like box around it or whatever you need to do. So it's just like degrees over 360 equals arc length over all the way around the circle, the circumference. Okay, so for this, we're solving for arc length. That's going to be our x. We need to find circumference, though, and we can just do that off to the side. Circumference is pi times diameter. So circumference is 3.14. Diameter all the way across is 8. And then we get 25.12. And that will go right in here to the equation right there. So it'll be set up like this. 45 degrees over 360 degrees equals x, the arc length, over 25.12. And then from here, we're solving the proportion. So like cross multiply and all that. 360 times x is 360x equals 45 times 25.12, 1130.4. And then divide both sides by 360. X equals 3.14. And so that represents the length of this arc right here. Okay. So now we're going to repeat that process, except in each problem it'll give us a different part that we're solving for. But again, the setup is the same. It's just going to be degrees over 360, arc length over circumference. So here for this one, the degrees is 76 degrees. So 76 degrees over 360 degrees equals arc length. This time they gave us arc length and we're trying to find circumference. So the arc length is 7.5 and then we're finding circumference. So that's x. And then cross multiply. 76x equals 360 times 7.5 is 2700 divided by 76, and x equals 35.5 meters. Okay, this one over here, number 6. Slightly different problem, but again, same equation. It wants to know the measure of the arc DE, so like what the degrees are right here. So it's going to be x degrees over 360 equals arc length, which is, oh, let's see. Okay, we're good. Okay, arc length is 8.73. I was second guessing myself for a second. Over circumference. Circumference is pi times diameter. It shows radius is 10, so diameter would be 20. And then cross multiply to solve. So 20 times 3.14, 62.8 equals 360 times that, which is, I don't know, 3142.8. Divided by 62.8. and x equals 50.02 degrees. Okay, the next one, let's see, the last one here. I think for the sake of our brains, we're gonna skip number 8. And we're going to just do 2 on the back. So you can skip this, and then we're going to do 2 on the back. So moving on. Ready? Flip. Okay, so 21 and 22, I definitely wanted to include because it includes a skill that we saw recently. Look at these equations here. They are equations of a circle, and it wants us to find the radius of, or the circumference of the circle. So equation of a circle was x minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals radius squared. So this is equation of a circle. And hk were the center, just to remind you, and r is the radius. So what we're going to do is identify the radius, and then we can use that to find circumference. So find circumference. So in this equation, the center is at 0, 0 because there's no like x plus anything and y plus anything. And then the radius is going to be square root of 16, which would be 4. To find circumference, it's pi times diameter. So it would be pi times, and if radius is 4, diameter is 8, like double that. So pi times 8. And it says here, write the circumference in terms of pi, so it makes it a little bit easier for us. Our answer is just 8 pi, and it doesn't have a unit, so just units. Okay, and 22, looking at that, we don't really need to identify the center, but just as a matter of like practice, the center here is -2, 3. Remember, it's these two values, and then it's like opposite sign. And then the radius of this circle is square root of 9, which equals 3. So the diameter be 3 times 2, which is 6. And circumference is pi times diameter, so pi times 6. So circumference is 6 pi units. And that is all. Okay, so we're going to stop there, and then you have the rest of the time to get your homework done. So your to-do list right here is homework 11-1 on Schoology. Let me know if you have questions so we can all get it done in class today. Oh, sorry, it's blurry. And then work on your weekly ALEKS. And again, let me know as you have questions so we can get stuff done. And go ahead and grab a laptop, log in, and all that stuff. Yes, you may.
Got it. Got it.